Hi lovelies, so welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos and leave commentaries and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and I thought to share with you guys as usual where pan-colored people are actually coming for themselves about reparations on why or not to actually give reparation. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
The only reason anybody would be against reparations is if they don't feel that this country has anything to repair in how it has treated and continues to treat black folks.
I don't think reparations for something that happened 150 years ago for whom none of us currently living are responsible is a good idea.
First off, Mitch, you were alive 100 years ago. Look at you. Second, reparations are not just about slavery. They're about repairing the incessant harm that has been done to black people in this country since we were stolen and brought here, and that does not end with slavery. These people act like Jim Crow was just like a minor inconvenience. It was violence! And I don't know if y'all been looking around lately, but basically reparations should be owed for what was done like 15 minutes ago in this country.
We've, tried to deal with our original sin of slavery by fighting a civil war.
If the Civil War was really about righting the wrongs of slavery, then we wouldn't have all these Confederate flags and Confederate statues still just confederating around to this day. To this day!
By passing landmark civil rights legislation.
These people wake up every morning to undo civil rights legislation.
We've elected an African-American president.
Now you know you ain't vote for Barack. We need to become reparationists. We need to make preparations for reparations. And I say that comes with us first making reparations a part of our culture. This should be a part of our lifestyle. And we should be demanding that reparations be given to us by whoever is in the presidency and by whoever wants to be president. And also by our local and state governments. And I don't think that means just waiting to the last minute of an election and saying that we're not going to vote for you unless you give us reparations. Nah. We should be getting behind candidates who already believe in this. And all you white folks who want to be down, baby, you better be reparationists too. That's the new question for your white friends. Do you believe black people should get reparations? See, reparations are not a capital gain. They're an ethical practice. Because in a society where advancement is determined by money, the only way to correct the systematic hindrance of that advancement is by providing money. Reparations are not some far-reaching thing that have never been figured out before. We need to stop looking at reparations as something we need to imagine. Consider them as something that is very real that needs to happen. What we need to imagine is what we are going to do with the reparations to make sure that our community and ourselves are taken care of. We need to become reparationists.
And I'm telling you folks, right there, how white folks got so rich. The untold story of American white supremacy. I mean, I just read about the Indian land grab, and I'm like, my gosh, man, good Lord. No wonder we don't want to teach the truth. No wonder we don't want to teach the truth. Because that means we've got to look people in the face and say, our forefathers were the worst people in the history of mankind. The things that they did, that manifest destiny, that kind of mentality has been atrocious. What we have done to the African Americans. The estimated number of wealth that came from slavery. From free labor, and that's what it was. And they estimate that the amount of money that came from slavery was around $24 trillion. You can't even grasp that much money. The average person has a hard time grasping what $1 billion is. trillion. Holy shit. And a lot of people don't want to admit the truth, because a lot of people also are scared that what happens if we actually do have to maybe pay reparations. Understand that everything, that beautiful Capitol in Washington, D.C. was built by slave labor. The majority of the churches in this country were built by slave labor. Our forefathers were lazy. And if they were smart, which they were, but the problem was they were cunning. It's sad. And I'm telling you, folks,
when white people in the United States balk at the idea of paying reparations to black Americans who descended from slaves, they disagree with the Bible. Reparations are a form of compensation or restitution made to those who have suffered injustice, particularly those in cases of racial inequality, discrimination, and slavery. The idea of paying reparations to black Americans is not a new one. It has been a topic of discussion for decades, if not centuries. However, it has gained renewed attention and support in recent years, following the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement and the growing recognition of systemic racism in American society. As a Christian, I believe that reparations are not only a matter of justice and equity, but also a reflection of God's character and values. In the Bible, we see numerous examples of God's concern for the oppressed, the marginalized, and the downtrodden. From the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt to the ministry of Jesus among the poor and the outcast, we see a consistent theme of God's love for those who are on the margins of society. One of the key biblical principles that underlie the idea of reparations is the concept of restitution. In the book of Leviticus, we see God commanding the Israelites to make restitution to those whom they have wronged. Leviticus 6:1-5 says, "If anyone sins and commits a breach of faith against the Lord by deceiving his neighbor in a matter of deposit or security or through robbery, or if he has oppressed his neighbor or has found something lost and lied about it, swearing falsely in any of all the things that people do and sin thereby, if he has sinned and has realized his guilt and will restore what he took by robbery when he got it by oppression or deposit that was committed to him, or the lost thing that he found, or anything about which he has sworn falsely, he shall restore in full and shall add a fifth to it and give it to him to whom it belongs on the day that he realizes his guilt." This passage emphasizes the importance of making restitution to those who have been wronged, and not just restoring what was taken, but adding to it as a form of compensation. This principle of restitution can be applied to the issue of reparations to black Americans who have suffered centuries of enslavement, discrimination, and systemic oppression. Another biblical principle that supports the idea of reparations is the concept of Jubilee. In Leviticus 25, God commands the Israelites to observe a Jubilee every 50th year, during which all debts are forgiven, all slaves to be set free, and all property to be returned to its original owners. This was a radical idea of economic justice designed to prevent the accumulation of wealth and power in the hands of a few, and to ensure that all members of society had equal access to resources and opportunities. The idea of Jubilee can be seen as a model for reparations in that it seeks to address the root causes of inequality and oppression rather than just treating the symptoms. By forgiving debts, freeing slaves, and returning property, Jubilee seeks to create a more just and equitable society, one in which everyone has the opportunity to flourish. As a Christian, I believe paying reparations to black Americans is only a matter of justice and equity, but also it is a reflection of God's values and character. Through the biblical principles of restitution and Jubilee, we see a model for how we can address the historical and systemic injustices that have plagued our society for far too long. While the issue of reparations is complex and contentious, I believe that as Christians, we have a responsibility to seek justice.
Why do black people deserve reparations for something they weren't alive for? That's a great question. Let's ask Sarah Beth what she thinks. This is Jebediah. Jebediah inherited over 100 acres of land, his father's South Carolina plantation in the late 1800s. He was able to use the money from that land to buy 100 more acres. In the mid-1950s, passed the land down to his son, Mark, who then sold the land for $5 million. Mark started a successful real estate company that he passed down to his son, Tim. Tim was able to take all of the wealth that he generated basically because he was just born. This is his daughter, Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth was able to go to the best schools, live in the best neighborhoods, and have the most wonderful extracurricular activities. He's now getting an engineering degree from Syracuse, already has jobs lined up on Wall Street, has never had to work a job. Are we really gonna look Sarah Beth in her cold, dead eyes and tell her that she doesn't deserve the opportunities that's been afforded to her just because she wasn't born when the wealth is accumulated? To be quite honest, I don't know. Do descendants of enslaved black people deserve reparations? Absolutely. You bet your bottom dollar. But I think that we have unfortunately reached past the point where it will become too complicated to figure out how to disperse reparations and who gets them. Me personally, for example, I know that I descend from enslaved black people on both sides of my family, but the records are too skewed and all over the place to the point where I don't know how I would actively prove that to like the IRS or somebody. And that's the case for millions of black Americans right now. And then lastly, do we really have the faith that our government is competent enough to pull something like that off? Because I recall 2 years ago where the government completely botched stimulus checks and relief aid during the pandemic. So do we deserve reparations? Absolutely. But at this point, I don't know if it's possible.
Like, seriously, lovelies, anyone that will ask this, question is so dumb. Like, why would they give reparation? Oh my God, why are they always clamoring for reparation? Why the people that actually did what it did to them is long gone? Why all of this didn't happen in our own generation and all of that? But there are what they call generational wealth. These enslaved people have created generational wealth for your children, even the ones yet unborn. But the enslaved people, whose descendants were supposed to receive at least 1 cent of what their ancestors passed through in the hands of the oppressor, is given reasons upon, oh my God, why are we going to do that? That was why I was just able to put up a stitch about this lady. Her grandfather, great-grandfather has the generational wealth upon wealth upon wealth. Another thing is that, why is it that most people received reparation? Most people receive reparation. Asian, for example, receive reparation, and they are not even the one that suffered the most, but actually did. But black people, when everything concerns black people, or for them to actually, go up there, or for them to actually receive one or two things, there are a lot of so many stories of why they shouldn't receive it. Like, seriously, lovelies, this is something that has been going on for a while. This reparation thing is a debate that has been going on for a while, and a lot of people have their own different opinion on why they felt that reparation should not be given and all of that, with some flimsy excuses. Like, seriously, the thing is that nobody is actually saying that, okay, we all should actually pay money to a particular account number. Black color people should pay money to an account number that's meant for, black people. No, the same way, the way tax has been paid. The way tax, it can be taxed. Seriously, it's as simple as that. Nobody is actually saying, okay, all of the tax that people have been getting and all of that, using it for something that is not even the problem at hand, using it to sponsor WHAs all over, the WAR all over. I don't want to actually call the name, you know how it is here. So that money that is used to sponsor, you know what I mean? Why not use it to create this? Why is it that when black people are actually climbing around and asking for loans to at least start up a business, these loans will be denied, or you will be given some requirement that you can never meet up? But when, this woman decided that she's going to create an NGO in order to at least give provisions for black women or women of color to actually get loans and start up something for themselves, she's been sued. Like, seriously, she's been sued, this blonde guy. So these people do not want black people to actually succeed. But the thing is that our ancestors are always with us. We are still succeeding anyways, no matter how they want to try. But the thing is that they still want to be in control of everything. That is why they are making it sure. Okay, that is why they make sure that other people receive reparation. But in terms of black people, there are so many stories. These people are the people that actually suffered the most. These people are the people that went through childhood. These people are the people that, but anytime reparation is being discussed and how, black people are supposed to receive these reparations, there are so many stories behind it. There are so many reasons why they feel that, okay, they are not worth to receive reparations. Like, seriously, this is just so, like when I saw this video and so many pan-colored people are jumping into the discussion and the subject matter, I feel a lot of, okay, that means these people know exactly what they are doing. Even their own followers know exactly what they are doing. Like, just imagine the wealth that these people built for them. Just imagine the generational wealth that the enslaved people built for these people. And just a token to actually appreciate, to actually pay for the sufferings and all of that. It's still something that they have to discuss about it. Like, seriously, lovelies. When I saw this, I said, I was just going to put it because of a lot of people that is so ignorant, asking questions of why do you think that it needs to be this, just something that is long gone. It's not something that happened it's not. Seriously, lovelies. Anyways, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. I want to use this medium to say a very big shout out to my newest subscribers and to those people that share my videos and leave commentaries and also educate each and every one of us. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. If I watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please, why not share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.